Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Ethereum is retesting this important line on the chart while a new pattern is forming in the short term, which I'll talk about later in the video, so definitely stick around. First of all, just giving you a quick update here on the daily Bitcoin chart. And right now, as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is still forming this large falling wedge pattern on the daily time frame, which is technically a bullish pattern because more often than not, this pattern breaks out to the upsides. And even though it's not impossible for this pattern to break to the downside, that is simply just a less likely scenario based on the history of this pattern. And as for the daily Bitcoin price oscillators, these are still looking the same as what I said yesterday. So if you want to know more information about this daily time frame and these daily Bitcoin price oscillators, then simply check out my last video on the channel. But anyway, zooming into a slightly smaller time frame here on the 8-hour Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is still running into this area of resistance, which is sitting in between around 27.2k to 27.6k. And above that area of resistance, we still have this descending line of resistance sitting at approximately 27.9k. And as for short-term support, we have this price range sitting in between around 26.1k to 26,500 approximately. And as for the 8-hour Bitcoin price oscillators, once again, these haven't really changed over the last one day. So as of right now, these are still looking very neutral, which means we're most likely going to see a little bit more choppy sideways price action. And obviously that can be annoying if you're simply a hodler, but for the traders out there, you can actually make a lot of easy profits during a sideways price range like this. And if you want to know how to do that, then stick around to the end of this video to find out more. But first, just giving you a quick update here on the 1-hour Bitcoin chart. And at least as of right now, this fractal is still technically playing out because as of right now, the price of Bitcoin is still in this consolidation area after that slight bullish recovery in the short term, very similar to what we saw back here. And obviously we have also just seen a break to the downside in the 1-hour Bitcoin RSI below this ascending line of support, and now a retest in the RSI coming back up towards this previous line of support, very similar to what we saw back here. But in order for this to continue to play out, we would need to see this RSI to continue further to the upside, and we would also need to see a breakout above this level of resistance in the price, which by the way is sitting at approximately 27.2k to 27.3k. And so once again, as of right now, while the price of Bitcoin is still below this resistance, of course, it's still possible to continue to see rejections from this level, which basically means, at least in the imminent short term, we're still looking quite neutral because obviously, as I just said earlier, we're still seeing very low momentum in these price oscillators. But if we actually see a confirmed breakout above these short-term areas of resistance, then obviously that would act as a bullish signal, setting up more bullish price action, somewhat similar to what we saw back here is what I would expect if we actually see a confirmed breakout above this resistance. But until then, expect some more neutral price action, not overly bullish or overly bearish. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and right now the daily Ethereum price oscillators are technically still looking more bullish than bearish because first of all, if you're looking at the RSI, this is currently forming higher lows and higher highs, at least in the shorter term, while the daily Ethereum MACD is currently showing some bullish momentum after that bullish cross that we saw close to 2 weeks ago now. And so once again, as I've been saying almost every day over the last 1 week, this is pointing towards a continuation of this larger multi-month long bullish trend that we've seen since November last year. In fact, I've been bullish on the larger trend on the daily time frame since the beginning of this year. But obviously within that larger bullish trend, we can experience short-term bearish price action, which is what we saw just here and just here. And now if you're taking a look at the 8-hour ETH to US dollar chart, over the last 1 to 2 days, we have seen a breakout above this descending line of resistance, which was sitting at around 1880 to 1890. And in fact, at least at the time of recording this video, the price of ETH has currently retested this level to actually flip it into new support, which is technically a short-term bullish signal, further confirming this breakout above this resistance. And so this is just another reason why the price of ETH is currently looking more bullish than bearish in terms of the short-term trend and momentum. But obviously, with that being said, we still have points of resistance that we cannot forget about. For example, this price range sitting in between around 1920 to 1950, acting as resistance. And above that area of resistance, we also have a bit of resistance just here based on this previous high, sitting at around $2,000. And as for support in the short term, we have this descending line of resistance currently acting as new support, sitting at around 1880. And back below that level, we have this price range acting as support in between around 1830 to 1860. And now, if you're looking at the 8-hour Ethereum price oscillators, over the last 1 day or so, these have lost a little bit of bullish momentum because, for example, here in the 8-hour Ethereum MACD, the momentum is extremely flat as of right now, while the 8-hour Ethereum RSI has yet to form a new higher high while it's actually forming higher lows, meaning it's basically in a consolidation range as of right now, showing very low momentum, at least in the imminent short term. But while the price of ETH has basically been chopping around sideways in the imminent short term, this has actually been forming a new pattern here on the 2-hour ETH to US dollar chart, which is an inverse head and shoulders pattern. And in fact, right now, as of recording this video, this pattern has essentially completed its formation phase, and all we need to see is a confirmed breakout above this neckline, which is sitting at around 1910 approximately. And so if that happens, if we see a confirmed breakout above 1910, then in that case, that would set up a bullish price target based on this inverse head and shoulders pattern, which if you're going from these candle closes, that more conservative price target would be sitting at around 1970. But if you're taking the full price target from the candle wick all the way to the neckline, then that technical price target would be sitting at around 1980. And so basically from the point of the breakout to the first price target, that's around a 3% move, to the second price target, that's around a 4% move to the upside. But obviously it is important to mention that at least as of right now, while the price of ETH is yet to actually confirm a breakout above this level, these technical price targets are not currently in play, and they only come into play, they only activate if we actually see a confirmed breakout above this resistance, which, by the way, for confirmation, I'd be looking for at least some candle closes, or even better, if the price actually breaks out and comes back down, in that case, we would need to see a retest confirming this level as new support, only if the price comes back down for a retest, because if the price comes back down and actually fails that retest and breaks back below, then that would invalidate any sort of breakout and invalidate this pattern. And now if you're zooming into the 1-hour ETH to US dollar chart, this fractal is still currently playing out, which I talked more about in my last video. So if you missed my last video, definitely check that out. And now if you want to know how to make a lot of money in crypto very easily, no matter if the price is going to the upside, to the downside, or simply chopping around it sideways in a sideways range, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money automatically using artificial intelligence, and the video in the bottom left shows you how to easily profit during a sideways price range. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.